How in the hell is everybody doing today? I assume freaking fantastic. If you aren't, well, I'm actually sorry about that. Hope this video distracts you from whatever it is that's making your day not so great. If it doesn't, well, check out some of my other stuff. It probably won't do it either, but whatever. You're probably wondering why in the heck are we starting in a high pixel lobby thing where we do parkour instead of the normal starting point for our videos, which is like a little green area in a second I stole from Green. Mainly because I forgot to record that part of the video. Simple as that. You know, I'm not a genius. Anyways, I have a Rustic House video on my channel already. You can go ahead and look at it. It's at the very bottom. It's got hot garbage. Really hot garbage. It's terrible. The main thing that makes it terrible is that it was my first video. And, you know, old computer, hot garbage. You get the whole idea. True aquarium water. Basically, it's not a good video in the slightest. Gosh, I'm not good at parkour. In any case, it's not a good video, and for that simplistic fact, I decided to completely redo it. So, enough of me rambling on, let's get to the video. So what you want to do is build up by 3, build back by 3, build up by 3, and then build up by 3 more. So it is a total of 6. Then build across by 5. Not on the top, but on the bottom. I messed that up at first. I realized I should just do the bottom first to make things more coherent. Then build up by 3, build across by 5. I had to go back and check the length of the log. Now here, you're going to want to put a log 1 block to the left of that middle column. Now this is because we're going to be creating an entrance to our porch. Just break that middle pillar and just connect it. Now break those 3 right there so we can have our entrance. Then build back by the same height, 3, and then up by 6, that way it can connect. And do the same thing you do to the left to the right, where it has that 3 gap, and build it up so that it looks like it's being supported. When in Minecraft, it doesn't matter. Minecraft is great. It doesn't require physics. Here, you're building up by 6, building back by 5, and then building up by 6 once more. Now this is the same dimension. There is the dimensions, in case you didn't catch it, because I spoke really fast, but those are the dimensions, and we're going to be using them all the way across. So here you're building up by 5, up by 6, out by 5, up by 6, I know, and then we're rotating it and doing the same thing. Just rinse and repeat. Here we go. Same thing as always. Up by 5, up by 6. Then from there, build a column in the bare middle of that. Now here I messed it up, but you just want it to be in the center and have 5 blocks to the left and 5 blocks to the right. Then on this one, you're building them all up by a total of 5 blocks and across by 5. Then on the next part right here, it's the, I want to say, 3rd layer. You're building the columns right there that you see up by 5, and these ones up by 6. We're using the same trick we used on the barn, where we're building up that middle column by 1 block so we can create a slope. This slope is going to be used to give us a fancy roof. Now here I'm using World Edit. You can use World Edit if you've got it. If you haven't, that's fine. You don't need World Edit. I just prefer it because it's faster. All you have to do is fill in that little space right there, 1 block in, like such, with stone, andesite, and cobblestone. All wonderful blocks. Use them, okay? They go so great together. Just do it, alright? Make my life a million times easier. Make yours a million times easier. Just do it. Alright? Don't let our dreams be dreams. Then there I messed up with World Edit, so it fixed it real fast, but, you know, just stairs going up. You can have them be in block back, or you can have them be in block forward. It doesn't matter for that part. I suggest a block back, because it'll make it look nicer. But you can always have them block forward if that's what you prefer, so they're hidden within the actual steps. Here we're filling in the walls, same thing, 1 block back, same blocks. Just, you know, remember that. 1 block back, stone, andesite, and cobblestone. Then on the floor, you can use brown terracotta, or brown clay, or dark oak planks, doesn't matter, okay? Just make it a dark brown color to make your life nice and easy, and my life easy too. Because I don't want to have to go through and tell you to change it up. But I suppose you could have it be bright blue for all I care. And then you see me filling on these walls. I've already done it for a minute now. Just fill them with spruce 1 block back. Make sure it's spruce planks, because slabs are stupid and it would take too long. And dark oak makes the build too dark, so make sure you use spruce. Then you see here how I built that by 1 block down. That's because I wasn't thinking about how the roof was going to go in, so you build it 1 block down too, just so that way you can keep up with me in the tutorial, but you could always just put the blocks there. Either way, we're going to go up top and do some editing to that in just a second here. For now, just keep it equal to the height of those pillars to the left and right of that middle one. Build these blocks out by 3 from that middle pillar on the right and left sides. This is so we can start off our slope, so we have a general look for it. Then here we're building out by a total of 1 block with slabs. Then we're building down by half a slab, cross by 3, down by half, cross by 3. Right here. Look, those are the dimensions. Simple as that. Because talking fast isn't going to get it done. And then just copy that from that side over to here. It'll look exactly the same on this back part and the front. And just remember, if you're having trouble with it, just go back and pause it when I had those dimensions displayed. Then go in with slabs so that you can have it flush with the dark oak. This is so we can create our fancy little pattern in a minute here, which is really cool, and I used it in my last video. I came across this pattern through pure accident, but I really love it. It's just such a cool way to detail your roofs, especially wood ones, because the wood is so plentiful and it's not the world's hardest thing to collect. Then dark oak slabs to the left and right of these far out bits, and then do them one block in between on each. Make it so that if you need a starting point, that middle one will line up with your pillar. Then build these out by half a slab. Now it looks a little confusing just because of what's going on, but basically what you want to do is make your half slab stick to your build. Simple as that. So it'll just go out by 2, out by 2, out by 2, out by 1. There you go. I didn't put the dimensions in because if you pause it, you can just take a quick look at it. But if you really need to go over it, just, like I said, pause it. Go over it. There's nothing too complex there. Then use your trapdoors, place them in the cracks wherever they'll be placed, and place them on top. Now keep in mind, some of them it's going to float, and if it floats, break it and move it. You're just going to have to experiment with that. There's no way I can really tell you which ones, but if you just pause it, you'll be able to figure it out. If you don't want to put them in, that's perfectly fine. Then here in the porches, you're going to be using fence gates, spruce fence gates. As for the walls, you could use andesite or stone, doesn't matter. Then fill in the gaps here, make it so that the fence gates are flush with that pillar behind it, and they're going all the way across. Build up by 2 fences, and then put a wall on top of them. On the second balcony, on the first one, we're not going to have any of this. Then build up by 3 fences and put a wall on top of that for the one connected to the building. Then build down by 3, half slab down, build down by 3, half a slab down, build across by 3, and boom. Then build all the way across so that it's connected to the wall. Then make it flush like we did before with the roof. We're going to do the same exact thing we did with the roof above here as down here. Half a slab with the dark oak, then your spruce going all the way across. Just follow the same pattern we did before. Now here, you see me installing this fancy little overhang. What you want to do is just build your slabs, spruce slabs, half a slab down from where the dark oak is. Then here on the actual wall, you're going to be using your dark oak slabs on the right and left and your dark oak trapdoors on the right and left. Leave the middle part open. I'm going to show you what I just did slower and in first person, so that way you actually know what's going on. Alright, so for those of you that need an actual visual representation other than the replay mod, which is understandable because it's kind of terrible, basically put these 3 going across on the blocks, but then go up by 3 trapdoors over here, and make sure that you have a little gap right there, so that this block is free and it's not on this block either. Then going across, you do 1 on the inside on that block and 2 over the top. Then you continue to create what you have on that side over on this side going up with the 3 trap doors. Now you got this beautiful thingamajig. Now you're probably wondering, hey, what about the rest of the windows? Oh, simple. You just pull this one down and pull these 2, pull these 2 up. Boom. That's the whole thing. It's nothing special, and if it's one shorter, then it's just one shorter like this. And then there's one of them on the actual thing where it goes like this. But that's only one of the windows. You'll see when it comes, I'll do what I can to explain it, and back to the other half. Welcome back, everybody. So I just showed you how to make those windows, but if you need a more in-depth thing, just go ahead and pause it and copy it from there, or go back, because I feel like I did an okay job. Then use your fences behind there as your windows, and your fence gates in the middle to create a little hole. So that way you can actually see. Now, why aren't we using glass? Well, you can use glass, but I prefer to use fences as it gives it more of a rustic look. You can use glass, but it won't look as nice, and it won't look like the tutorial one. Then for this one, I want you to put trapdoors in the top block and the one below it. Then use your slabs like we did before on the right and left, trapdoors on the right and left. And on the left side, we're not going to be putting in the bottom part of the window because that is going to be our door. But here on the door, here on the window, we're doing the same thing I just showed you how to do. where you just bring the trapdoor up and bring one down, like such. If you need to go back over it, jump back to about a minute ago and you'll be able to find it. Then for your slabs, spruce slabs on the right and left, up there. Now, keep in mind you broke 4 blocks up. Then what you want to do is put your slabs on the left and right and put your dark oak door 1 block back. Then put your trap doors on the right and left, filling up the thing so it looks like a flush wall. Then build up with your trap doors on the outside so that they're flush with the spruce planks behind it, and so that your trap doors are not equivalent, they're flush with each other and you have one going above. Shift and press the trapdoor onto the spruce plank on the top there, and you should be able to come up with the same thing. If you can't, then it's just a little bit of trial and error. You'll get it eventually. Then here in the bottom, we're doing some detailing. Stairs on the right and left upside down, trapdoors in the middle, and your spruce planks in the right and left, like such. Nothing too special, just some basic detailing. Then you break the floor out and put in some form of spruce. It could be a trapdoor, it could be a log, it could be strip lawn, doesn't matter. Just as long as it's spruce. Then, going from there, we're going to be creating our little outhousey section part. What you want to do is build out by a total of 5 and build up by a total of 11. Now, if you want to break it up, just make it equal to the size of the house on the second floor, like such. Now you notice we skipped over that part, the smaller part behind it. That's because we're going to be going back up. What I did here was I built the wall out by 1 block when you're supposed to have it 1 block back, so that it's equal to the house. Like I have it here, so I had to move it back by 1 block, as right there as you just saw. Basically, what you want to do is make your pillars equal to the pillars on the house. Simple as that. So that way your proportions will be the exact same. 5 blocks across on each of them and 11 blocks tall. Then we're going to go back to the smaller parts so I give you proper dimensions on it. Go 5 blocks tall and 5 blocks across. Do the same thing we've done with the rest of the house. Build across by 3 slabs, build across by 3 slabs, build across by 3 slabs, just like that. Now that you've done that, what you want to do is build a wall behind it, but make your spruce slabs go across onto the wall where that gap is. And create the same pattern you have going on for the rest of your roofs, where you just have your dark oak slabs, 1 block like that, and then your trapdoors and your spruce slabs like such. If you need to refer back to things, just go back to the previous roofs or copy what I've got there. Then for that bottom part right there, you see all that detail I just did? Yeah, so we're reusing the style from our barn video. If you haven't seen that, feel free to go check that out. I'm also very proud of that build, it came out quite nice. Though it's an older video, so the audio is not great. What you want to do is put your slabs, like we've been doing, on the right and left. Put your trapdoors below them, so that way you kind of cover up the log and give it more texture. And then put your trapdoors on the right and left, 1 block in from those slabs, as you see right there on the bottom. Then here we create the same window that we had above it. I said 3x3, but I actually meant 2x3. Needs a mess up. Then here we're doing a slightly different one. Now we're using lies and deception to make this roof part possible. What you want to do is build out by 4 blocks on this one. I know, pretty snazzy. So what you're doing is you're building a block in that corner. Instead of having a slab, you're building a block in there, and then you're building across by 3, then building down by half a slab, cross by 2, down by half a slab, cross by 2, down by half a slab, cross by 1. Like this, right here. Pause it for reference, but that's basically all the dimensions you need. Nothing too special, just repetition, endless painful repetition. Like school and classes, just endless painful repetition. Then creating that same inverse of the dark oak. Now here you see me going really, really fast. This is because I didn't really want to go over the dimensions of it, but what you want to do is recreate what you have on that other side over here. Now you see me mess it up here, I'm just going to go back and fix that. Okay, I'll go back and fix it once I'm done. Now on this part, since we've created this connecting slope where we have going out by a total of 1 block, you're going to fill in with your spruce slabs going all the way across. Then leave that part right there as log. Now you're looking at it and you're thinking, Halves, this is really ugly, but we're going to use some more lies and deception, builder's greatest tools. Continuing on, we have to go along with our spruce, and we're just going to be using the same spruce slabs, keeping it flush with the roof, just as we've done before with the rest of the roofs. Then continue along with the same pattern that we've had going, where you do the dark oak slabs going across to the one block by the right, and then continuing like that all the way across. We're not having it go flush with the wall. Instead, we're having to be one block back so we can add in some windows. But just keep the same look as we've done with the rest of them. Connect it up on top, and then just leave it like that. Make sure that everything connects up by half a slab, and you see how the log bits are still sticking out, even once we're continuing with our detailing? Well, we have the lies and deception to fix that right now. Look at that. Trap doors. Fix that real fast. Just go through, spam your trapdoors down, same as you've done with the rest of the roofs. And you see how there's that one block gap, like I was saying, where we don't leave it flush with the wall? We're now going to add in our windows, like the ones I was talking about earlier, where we have it go straight across like that, and then finish it off like such. If you need to refer back to that, go back to 8 minutes, but just have it go across by 3 trapdoors, 2 on the top, 1 above that, and 1 to the right and left. It'll look a little funny, but because of that, because of the way that they're positioned, it gives it that extroversion pop. Then here, we're going to be recreating the window we have in that front part on the right, but on the left, we're doing it by 1 block shorter. Now no one, because of our little porch area out back that we're flying above, will be able to see this window on the left, but they will be able to see the window on the right. Make sure you do the window on the right properly. Then continuing on with the window on the left, it's the same pattern we've had on the one in the front, just smaller. Literally just bring it up by 1 block. Then copy what you have on the back part over to this one, like such. Simple as that. If you need to refer, you should already have the window in the front done, so just come back here and copy it over. Should be easy enough. Same with the pattern in the front, where we build down by half a slab on your spruce slabs. Now, this build has even more repetition coming up, but I'm hoping that I can make it a little less confusing because of said repetition, but we'll see. Then fill in the wall right here with your spruce planks going up on the right and left columns by 2 blocks, and then build on your right and left with slabs, like such. Now this is me copying and pasting this design all the way around, because I don't want to build it in 4 or 5 times. However, you are going to have to if you're doing this in survival or you don't have world edit in your creative world. Now continue with the inverse on your dark oak slabs like such, and here we're going to do a little bit of detailing with our trapdoors. Build up by 2 on the top and bottom, and then build up by 3 right there in the middle. You'll have 2 block gap on the top bit right there and on the bottom. You should do this all the way around. Then use your spruce trapdoors across by 1 block, going all the way around on the wall. This is so we can break up some of that solid looking spruce plank, just to make the build look a lot nicer. Nothing too special. Then on the bottom there, use your spruce planks going across by 3. This is to make it look like the building is itself and the dirt is a separate patch of dirt, like it's more kept in a way. I would suggest you use planks as they're cheaper and easier to get, but you can use anything as long as it's spruce themed, not dark oak. Then over here on the top, like I said, go all the way around with your spruce trapdoors and fill in that little hole right there like I did. And now on this window, we're doing the same window design we've done for pretty much all of the house. You have your dark oak trap doors in the middle to the right and left, and then your dark oak slabs to the right and left, and then continuing with the window. Refer back to about 8 minutes into the video if you want to see how I did those in first person, if you aren't able to just recreate them right now. Now I'd love to re-explain them 101 times, but honestly I had to build them 3 times because I'm awful at most of this recreation stuff. So honestly, good luck. Go back to 8 minutes, copy it from there, or just copy it from here. You can get it with just a bit of trial and error, guaranteed. Then use your same thing with your fences, easy enough. Now on the bottom, I chose to first create a little bit of detailing with your stairs and then your trapdoors, but here I chose to use your spruce slabs and your spruce trapdoors on the bottom layer and having the back part be dark oak, as well as the window frame. Now you can choose to keep it dark oak on this bottom layer. That's not what I care about. I chose to use spruce because I just did it on accident and I thought it looked cool. And I would suggest you use spruce so you can have a closer outcome to what mine looks like. But if you just want to use dark oak because you're doing this in survival and you don't feel like getting more spruce, perfectly fine. It'll just be a tad darker and it won't even be that big of a deal. I highly doubt anyone will notice if they've seen this tutorial other than you. Beyond that, anyone you know will think this is a fantastic house because it's absurdly detailed, despite all the details being the exact same. Then continue with your pattern, same one we've been doing with the dark oak slabs and trap doors, except with spruce. You know, nothing too special. Not breaking any boundaries of science or mathematics. We're just recreating something. Then here, we're going to recreate the same doorway we did, but instead of having it be spruce, we're just going to use cobblestone, stone, or andesite slabs. Easy enough. Create the same exact door, where you have your door on the bottom and your trapdoors on the right and left, building up so that it covers the holes. Now here we're going to be using our trap doors in the center there to create a bit of a plus or an X. Recreate that, it'll go right in the middle and it'll make it look like everything connects. Create the door frame that we had on the front part right here. It's just so that you have a nice outline in the door to give it more shape. Then recreating the window, nothing special. Same window we've been doing all the way around. Except, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, make sure that on that bottom part, you see where there's a little hole that's grass, fill that in with some form of spruce. It's just to make the build look nicer and it doesn't cost much. Then recreate that little plus sign that we just did before right here. This is so we have a bit more connection between the house and to break up some of the logs because we are using a lot of wood and logs. And we want to be able to break that up so that you aren't looking at a husk or a hunk of pain and suffering. Instead, you want pretty pain and suffering. Models in anything, honestly. Pain is beauty. There's a reason that's a saying. This house was pain, but it is the true beauty. Then here on the top, you're going to want to use your spruce slabs going across by one, so that way we can have a flat window or flat surface to work with so we can add in our detail, as you see right there. Now, if you attempt to just put in your detailing on the top without putting in those slabs, it will work, but it'll look a little funny. I guarantee that it'll look funny because I attempted it myself and it just looks a tad off. However, if nobody looks at the top of your house very often, I don't think they'll care that much. So honestly, go ahead and do it, just leave it. Or put in those slabs like I'm telling you, whatever you want to do. Then recreate the same window design we've been using on the rest of the house. If you haven't got it by now, feel sorry for you, but just go back to 8 minutes. It's the same design, all the way around. Not trying to break any boundaries, like I said, which is same pattern. Then on the bottom there, use your one dark oak trap door and your little plus sign again, but you see how it's broken off there? That's perfectly fine, you don't want to continue it. Just make it look like it was folded into the house. On the porch, right now we're still working on the window, but just for the porch bit, same detailing there where we have our stairs going upside down and right side up. I forgot to do it, so I just figured I'd mention it. Then go through with your trap doors on the corners. Now you can make sure you do the trapdoors on the corners. It's not too big of a deal, it's just the same thing you've been doing. Now, keep in mind, this little part, the small portion of the little back porch area, right here, we're doing the same exact door we'll be doing for the rest of the house. This is so that it has a broken up space. So that way, if you want, you can have this connecting to your house and still have it be an animal pen, or a place where you store chests, or just a little back porch area. Whatever you want it to be, doesn't matter. Alright. Now let's build our pathway. Same pathway I always use, except instead of just having coarse dirt granite and path block or grass path, I decided to use brown concrete. You can use grass path, it'll look about the same. I just chose brown concrete because it's what popped in my head at the time. Now we're making our signature lanterns, baby. Now look, you build in by a maximum of for a bare minimum of 2, and you use the strip of the same log and a wall, a stone wall of any kind, doesn't matter. Then build up your fences by a minimum of 3 and a maximum of like 7. You can go pretty tall with it, just make sure it's reasonable or relatively realistic. Like right there, I built that up by 3, but then I went back and added an extra bit of height because I wanted it to be more realistic. Just keep it within the boundaries of not absurdly tall. You aren't trying to build a tower, you're just trying to make a lantern so you don't bonk your head. Anyways, this is how we make our fancy lanterns. I put your trapdoors, you could use spruce or dark oak as long as it's a nice complement in wood, and put your lanterns on the bottom. Make sure only the bottom part, so that they're hanging and not so that they're sitting on it. You could make them sit on it, it wouldn't be the biggest deal, but I prefer them to be hanging. It's up to you though, you're building a house. Then fences on the outside, make sure they're not connecting. Then in the back, you see me adding a bunch of wood in the ground. This is so when I put in my leaves, they actually stay and just don't evaporate into sadness and nothingness. Also, mix your leaves, use spruce and dark oak. I guarantee it'll add another layer of depth and flavor and color to your build without costing you much, especially since you've already obliterated 100 forests. Go through spamming your flowers like I just did, and let's look at the house. Alright, so my voice might have sounded a bit crass throughout this video. That's because I feel like I'm dying right now, but I still wanted to be able to get the video out, so it's going to be one of my last tutorial videos. In any case, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.